Hello, my name is Natalie and welcome to my channel Knitting-a-GoGo. And if you've previously watched some of my videos and have since subscribed to my channel, once again welcome back and thank you for watching. So back in June it was my birthday and my husband decided to surprise me by taking me to Jersey for a couple of days. So the actual travel was from the Thursday through to the Saturday, and my birthday was actually on the Thursday. And it's quite a simple journey for us to do, hence why he picked Jersey, because Gatwick Airport is quite close to Brighton, and then it's a 50-minute flight across over to Jersey on the plane. So it really didn't take very long at all to get across to Jersey. And we stayed in the wonderful city of St Helier in Jersey, in the lovely town there. Lots of pretty shops and nice things to visit and do, and restaurants and bars. And on my actual birthday, my husband surprised me by taking me to a lovely seafood restaurant called the Oyster Box, which is located in St Brillard's Bay. And here's some pictures of my little trip to that lovely restaurant there, with some lovely seafood that I got to sample. So I'm not sure about you, but as a hand knitter, one of the first things I will always do if I'm travelling somewhere new that I've never been before is I'll look up online to see if there's any potential wool shops I could visit. Now in St Helier, there were a couple of haberdashery type stores where there was some like quilting fabric. They were good all-rounders. They had like DMC embroidery threads, and they had some standard wool that you can find in a lot of haberdashery shops, such as Rowan yarn and some Wendy yarn. But what caught my eye when I was looking online was a shop called Fig Tree Yarns, and they were based about half an hour walk away from where I was staying in the hotel on the harbour front in St Helier. Now they're predominantly online, but they do open their shop within like a house, but they do open up to the public one day a week on a Friday. And I was fortunate because I just so happened to be staying in Jersey on the Friday, so I was able to take a walk up to this yarn shop. Now what I really liked about this yarn shop and what intrigued me is that they predominantly stock yarns from the US. So these are yarns that I wouldn't normally get a chance to see in person unless I was to fly to the US. And that really intrigued me because I thought these are something new to be able to look at. And I looked online and there just seemed to be so much selection of lovely, lovely yarns, gorgeous luxury sort of, just really nice yarns. And since I was in Jersey, it was a prime opportunity to go. It was a half-hour walk from where I was staying, and unbeknown to us, it was on a very steep hill. Now the weather was very 1 minute raining, 1 minute sunny on this particular few days, a bit like the UK sometimes. During our stay. So at that point we were walking up this steep hill. It was very hot sunshine and it was very, very warm. And yeah, we got the bus back down in the end because it was quite a steep walk, and I would highly recommend, if you're in St Helier Centre or anywhere else around the island, to maybe get a taxi or a bus up to the actual place where Fig Tree Yarns is. So the actual shop is run by a lovely lady called Imogen, and it's actually based within a music school that she has in Jersey, and she used to be an opera singer. And from what I gather, the reason she set up Fig Tree Yarns was because she had a son that went to university in New England in the US, and when she was over there she used to find some beautiful yarns that were US yarns. But when she used to come back to the UK, she could never find them or source them here. So she decided that she wanted to share her love of these yarns with the UK market, and that's why she set up the actual shop initially in 2014, and it just grew from there. And as you'll see from this footage in a moment, it's over 2 floors, 2 separate sort of rooms downstairs and then one bigger one upstairs, and it is just covered in beautiful, gorgeous yarns from the US. It was just an absolute delight. And when I finally arrived up there, a taxi arrived at the same time. There were 3 ladies from the UK that had travelled over to Jersey for a knitting holiday for the week, just with themselves. And it was really lovely. They said what they do is they have a knitting project they decide to all do together. I think it was a shawl they were working on, and they knit it over that week. And one of their highlights of their trip was to go to this particular yarn shop. So it was really like a lovely atmosphere. We're all in there, all looking around. It was such good fun. So here is my footage of the visit to the lovely, beautiful Fig Tree Yarns in Jersey. So we're just having a quick walk before we head off to Fig Tree Yarns, which I'm really looking forward to seeing today. They only open on a Friday, so yeah, I'm super excited to be going there soon. So I've just arrived at my destination, which is Fig Tree Yarns. As you can see here, the lovely little sign saying welcome knitting. They open 1 day a week on a Friday in Jersey, so I'm super excited that I actually was here today to be able to see this wonderful yarn shop. And let's go inside. So I've just finished shopping here at Fig Tree Yarns, as you can see, and I'm looking forward to showing you what I bought. So I hope you enjoyed the video of seeing this beautiful, beautiful store within this music school. You could have just bought and bought and bought so much yarn. obviously, unlike most people, I had a budget, and I was very lucky because I had some birthday money that I was able to spend on some beautiful yarn. Now, what was also lovely is I got one of these lovely little fig tree yarn pencils as well during my visit, which was a nice little touch when purchasing some lovely yarns there. Unfortunately, Imogen had run out of bags. She was waiting for a new delivery of them, so I got one of these lovely little purple, one of what she would use to post online, I think, that she kindly packed it. She kindly packed the yarns in for me. So without further ado, I'll show you one of the first things I was drawn to. And I'd actually seen these online, this particular yarn, and I was really drawn to it online. And whilst I was looking around the shop, you'll see in the footage me with some of the yarn, but I knew once I saw it in person, I definitely wanted this particular, I definitely knew I'd like this particular yarn to take home. And fortunately I had enough in my budget to be able to buy some. So the yarn I was really drawn to when I saw it online, and then definitely in person when I saw it, was a brand called Ritual Dyes, and they're based in Portland in Oregon. And what I liked about this particular yarn, it was I think it's their Zodiac range. Yeah, it's definitely the Zodiac range. And there was 2 types in the Zodiac range that I really liked that they had, 2 different types of yarn. So there was the Priestess yarn, which is a DK 4-ply superwash fine merino wool, as you can see here. And this particular shade that I really fell in love with isn't my star sign. It's Aries, which, yeah, I'm born in June, so I'm Gemini. But I just love this particular colour, love this pink. And what was lovely was Imogen had a cardigan knitted up in this on display that she's worn lots of times, and she's washed it quite a few times. And the yarn had really washed up really well. It hadn't peeled. It was really nice. So it definitely made me think, right, okay, I definitely would like some of this. But what was really lovely, the designer in me as well, was like, oh, they also had in the same shade was this lovely Faye, which is a lace weight yarn. And it's 70% kid mohair and 30% silk, as you can see there. I mean, I even love the little symbol and everything on there. I just think that's so cool. It's been really well thought out, and there's the kind of, you can see, it says Portland, Oregon on there. So my plan, it was really difficult to know what to buy, how much to buy as well. I know Imogen's cardigan took up quite a lot of it, but I was like, well, I really do want to make a top, and I want to combine both of the yarns, so it has like a nice soft halo. I think it'd be really nice maybe for winter. And I figured, well, if I'm running out, I can maybe make a short sleeve top or something. Again, if you've seen any previous videos of mine, I'm really loving the puff sleeve sort of. I've always loved puff sleeves, but I'm really liking that sort of style at the moment. So I could maybe design something with that. So in the end, after much deliberation, I decided to get 3 of the Priestess yarns, and I bought 2 of the Faye. And I figured combined they will obviously go further, and then I'm going to design, as a knitwear designer, I'm going to design my own top for these, and I will probably design it something that won't take up too much. It might have some lace or something in it, something that's going to not take up too much of the yarn in one little small space, so it will go further hopefully, and hopefully I will get a top. I did have a look on Ravelry, and it does look like you can potentially get a top out of the quantities I've got for my size. So fingers crossed that will happen. And in a later video, I will be documenting my design and make of this. So if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, where you'll be first to know when that's uploaded and on there. And what was also really lovely about this, so Imogen and her husband were there at the time of when I visited, and both her and her husband were just so warm and welcoming, and it was just, I could have spent hours there. It was just such a nice place to hang out, and in a beautiful home or the music school. It was just a lovely setting. It was stunning, Really nice place to be, and if I lived in Jersey I would definitely be visiting very regularly. It just had a real nice feel to the place, and Imogen had seen I'd really like these, and she knew it was my birthday because I told her. I was there. Again, she took real interest in knowing our reasons for visiting and everything, so it was really, really nice. And she and her husband kindly gave me this lovely Ritual Dyes Gemini pin badge, as you can see there. Now, anyone that's seen my previous videos will know I have a real love for pin badges. I love to wear them on my knitting. I just think they're so much fun, and I was just super excited to get this, and it's such a beautiful design as well. And it's got this lovely little bit of yellow, which actually would go well because the Ritual Yarns shade for Gemini was a yellow shade, which was also beautiful. It was just, at that moment in time, I was just really drawn to this Aries shade. But it's just such a nice little pin badge. So I'm definitely going to be wearing that. It was a lovely thing. And thank you, Imogen, for that. It's very kind of you and your husband. Thank you so much. It was I'm really going to enjoy wearing that as well. So as you can probably tell, these are real beautiful luxury style yarns. They also had other yarns in. They had yarns in the sale end of ranges. As there was something to cater for lots of budgets. It was just really lovely. And I thought I was going to be finished at the Ritual Yarns. I mean, there could have been so many more I could have purchased, but I had to be quite restrained because, like I said, you go into a shop. Well, for me personally, I don't have an endless pot of money, so I had to. Luckily, I said I had some birthday money, but I had to go in with a budget, and also with what I can make. I'm conscious that if you've seen my previous videos, I also, not knowing I was going to be going to this yarn shop, which was an absolute, obviously, surprise, going to Jersey by my husband. I'd already previously visited London. I bought some yarn goodies from there as well, so I'm in the process as well of wanting to design with those yarns too. Plus, last year I also had a trip to Amsterdam too, where I visited the Stephen and Penelope yarn shop, and I've got some yarn that I want to make a design with. So I've got lots to be working on at the moment, so I had to be fairly restricted with what I got. But as I was near leaving, as I was queuing to make my purchases, I was really drawn to another particular yarn brand, which it was Treen by SPINCYCLE yarns, as you can see there. And I believe they are based in Bellingham in Washington in the US. And this is 100% fine wool, non-superwash wool. And from what I gather, they dye the different shades separately, and then they ply them together. So on this one, you've got a gorgeous grey, orange, and like pink shades here. And I just thought that was stunning. And it feels more like an outerwear kind of yarn. You could maybe have it as a jumper, but I'm not sure how many you would need of these. There's 150 yards in there, and it's worsted weight. So I wasn't, if I start going down the realms of making jumpers and that, I would need quite a few. So it was just something I wanted to have a little play with. Imogen kindly let me look on her Ravelry whilst I was there, just to have a look at previous projects of this to gauge how much I might need, because I was looking at maybe making a hat. But when I was having a look, I just didn't feel like one skein would be enough for the hat I was thinking of maybe making and designing. So I decided to, because I'm not going to have a chance to get back over there, the best thing, and my husband was like, you best get two just to be on the safe side. So luckily he's supportive in my yarn endeavours, which is always lovely. So I got the two, so now I'm covered for hopefully, a hat. If I did just use one, I don't think I will. The knitwear designer in me, knowing quantities and what I can normally use for things and the yardage, I do believe I will probably need maybe 1.5 of these. If I've got any left over, maybe I could make some cool little mittens, like fingerless mittens or something. I don't know, I'll have to see. Or maybe like a little scarf, a little mini scarf. But I'll see how I get on with those. So again, I'm really looking forward to using those too. So I hope you enjoyed seeing all my yarn goodies today and the beautiful shop. If you've not had a chance to visit, I would highly recommend it if you can get there. Like I said, they're open on a Friday only from what I gather, but you can phone them, email them. Imogen will always respond, so you can always contact them and see and check times and everything, just to be on the safe side if you're travelling there. But also they're online, and I've popped a link in the description below for you to check out the website. So if you're based around the UK, you might find it super helpful to have a look on there if you're after some particular unusual yarns that you don't necessarily get in all the wool shops or the yarn shops in the UK. Like I said, it's just something a little bit different, and I'm just super excited to be planning and working on some designs with these stunning yarns. So if you did like the video, please feel free to click the like button, and if you haven't already, you can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my videos. I'm going to be sharing some of my designs and makes of what I'm doing in the knitwear world, mainly designs for myself that I'll be making with some of these gorgeous yarns. You may have seen from previous videos I've also got some vintage patterns I knit up from mainly the mid to late 60s and early 1970s. I've still got a couple of projects that I'm going to be uploading of those for this year as well, if you're interested in seeing any of those and my processes. And once again, thank you for watching.